welcome to tonight's hybrid session. It is an honor for us to have Ms. Nada to present about greenwashing, a tactic that is used by companies to manipulate the consumer. And we also will have the opportunity, or will get the opportunity to dive deeper into this confusing tactic.
So, hello everyone. My name is Nada Rahmani and I'm 14 years old, student at Hayab Academy. Thank you for all being here today. I'm excited to present on a topic that's incredibly important in today's world of consumerism and sustainability: greenwashing. As consumers, we're constantly exposed to claims of eco-friendly products and practices. However, how can we really tell which companies are genuinely sustainable and which ones are merely jumping on the green bandwagon? In this presentation, I'll take you through the concept of greenwashing, explain its differences with legitimate green marketing, explore real-life examples, and share strategies for identifying and avoiding greenwashing. So, the first section, definition of greenwashing. To start, let's define greenwashing. Greenwashing is the practice where companies unintentionally mislead consumers by exaggerating or falsely claiming that their products, services, or practices are environmentally friendly. It's a form of deceptive marketing designed to create the illusion of sustainability, even if the company's actually environmental impact doesn't match the claims they make. The term of greenwashing was coined in the 1980s by environmentalist Jay Westerveld, who criticized the hotel industry for encouraging guests to reuse towels to save the environment, even though it was mostly a cost-saving measure. Over time, this term has expanded to include a wide range of false environmental claims used by companies to attract eco-conscious consumers. In the 1990s, the term gained traction as companies increasingly used green marketing to appear eco-conscious without making substantial environmental changes. This period marked the start of businesses adopting environmental messaging as a branding strategy. In the 2000s, the rise of the internet allowed consumers to scrutinize corporate actions more closely, making it easier to spot deceptive environmental claims. Awareness of greenwashing grew as information becomes more accessible online. In the 2020s, public discourse around greenwashing intensified, highlighting the need for greater transparency and accountability. Consumers and regulators started demanding more evidence behind environmental claims. In the present, today, the focus is on pushing corporations to be honest and transparent about their environmental efforts. Greenwashing faces growing challenges as governments and organizations work combat deceptive practices. Section 2, difference between greenwashing and green marketing. So, how do we differentiate between greenwashing and legitimate green marketing? Understanding the difference is crucial for consumers and businesses alike. Greenwashing. Greenwashing refers to the deceptive practice of promoting products as more sustainable than they actually are. This may involve vague language, unverified claims, or cherry picking small environmental wins while ignoring larger issues. Greenwashing's primary goal is to appear eco-friendly to attract customers without making meaningful changes. An example could be a company claiming their product is green or natural, but failing to show any specific data or proof to back it up. Green marketing. In contrast, green marketing is honest and transparent. It's about companies genuinely promoting their eco-friendly practices, backed by solid evidence, third-party certifications, and transparent sustainability reports. These companies focus on providing real environmental benefits and openly share the steps they're taking to reduce their ecological footprint. For instance, a company might display a recognized eco certification, such as the Fair Trade logo or Energy Star, and provide detailed information on how their product is made and the sustainability of its supply chain. Section 3, real life examples of greenwashing. Now, let's take a look at some real life examples where greenwashing has caused public outrage and confusion. These cases highlight how misleading claims can damage consumer trust. Volkswagen, the Dieselgate scandal. One of the most notorious greenwashing scandals is the Dieselgate scandal involving Volkswagen. In 2015, the company marketed their diesel cars as eco-friendly and low emission. They used clever advertising to make it appear as though their diesel cars were environmentally friendly alternatives to traditional gasoline vehicles. However, it was later revealed that Volkswagen had installed software in their cars to cheat on emissions tests, causing them to emit up to 40 times more pollution than allowed by law. This caused a massive public backlash, as the company's green image was completely exposed as a sham. ExxonMobil, the renewable energy illusion. ExxonMobil, one of the largest fossil fuel companies in the world, has also been criticized for greenwashing. While the company has claimed to invest in renewable energy, these efforts are minimal compared to its massive investments in oil and gas extraction. Despite years of promoting its green initiatives, ExxonMobil has faced allegations of attempting to deflect attention from its core business, which significantly contributes to climate change. Coca-Cola, plastic promises. Coca-Cola's World Without Waste campaign promised to tackle plastic waste by pledging to recycle more plastic bottles. While the company has made some strides in recycling, it has continued to produce an enormous amount of plastic waste. In fact, Coca-Cola is one of the largest contributors to plastic pollution globally. This campaign was seen as an attempt to distract from the ongoing environmental harm caused by the company's vast production of plastic products. Section 4, impacts of greenwashing on consumer trust. The consequences of greenwashing go far beyond just misleading marketing. It directly affects consumer trust and the future of sustainability. When consumers realize they've been misled by greenwashing, their trust in all eco-friendly claims begins to erode. This results in a general skepticism towards green marketing, and consumers may start to ignore legitimate substantiality efforts altogether. Instead of promoting real environmental change, companies who engage in greenwashing risk confusing in the market and discrediting genuinely sustainable brands. Furthermore, greenwashing can prevent true sustainability progress. When companies spend more resources on misleading marketing instead of implementing real eco-friendly practices, it takes us further from achieving long-term environmental goals. Section 5, identifying greenwashing red flags. Now that we understand the risks of greenwashing, how can we avoid falling for it? Here are some common red flags to watch out from when assessing products or brands. Vague and unclear claims. Terms like natural, green, or eco-friendly are not regulated. So a product can be marketed as such without any clear definitions or proof. If a company doesn't provide specific evidence or certifications, be wary. Minor eco-friendly actions overlook major issues. Some companies will highlight one minor green initiative, like using recycled paper for packaging, while ignoring larger environmental issues such as excessive energy use or waste product. This tactic is often used to distract from the larger ecological impact. Fake certifications and labels. Greenwashing companies often create their own unverified eco labels or certifications to appear official. Genuine certifications are usually provided by third party organizations like the Forest Stewardship Council, FSC, or Energy Star. Always verify the legitimacy of any eco labels. 6. Section 6. Strategies to avoid greenwashing. To protect yourself from falling for greenwashing, here are some actionable strategies to consider. Look for independent certifications. Look for products that carry credible third party certifications, such as Fairtrade, USDA Organic, or Energy Star. These certifications guarantee that the product or company meets specific environmental and ethical standards. Do your research. Research the company's overall sustainability practices. Check their sustainability reports and look for evidence of long term commitments for environmental goals. A company should not just be talking the talk, but also walking the walk. Questions excessive green imagery or jargon. Be cautious if a product's marketing relies heavily on green imagery, like trees, leaves, or earth tones, or vague language, with substantial proof. Genuine sustainability efforts are backed by clear and verifiable data. Section 7. Conclusion. To conclude, greenwashing is a deceptive practice that not only harms consumer trust, but also slows down genuine progress towards sustainability. By educating ourselves and being vigilant about the claims companies make, we can make informed choices and push for real environmental change. As consumers, we can hold companies accountable and demand transparency. Together, we can make a difference and help foster a more sustainable future. Thank you for your time today. I hope you now have a better understanding of greenwashing and feel more empowered to make thoughtful, eco-conscious decisions in the future. As John Ellington said, greenwashing is the lipstick of corporate irresponsibility. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Nada, for your mind-blowing presentation that has made everything for us clear. Any questions that we had about greenwashing have been answered. I'm just speechless because I had so many questions about this subject because it was kind of confusing for me when I watched it in the documentary, but now I've understood more and I have known more about it thanks to your presentation. It was very informative, and I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much.
Of course, no worries.
Now we're going to move on to any questions from the online class or the in-person class. So if anybody has any questions, you are free to raise your hand. Thank you.
Also for the online?
Yeah, and also for the online, just you are very welcome to say anything. Thank you. So we have Mr. Yasin who's going to ask a question from the in-person class.
Okay, so first things first, I want to thank you so much for your presentation. Well, it's not a question, but can you give me your opinion about greenwashing? Like, do customers of these companies, loyal customers, lose trust in these companies? And if yes, then can you explain why?
I think that greenwashing is a tactic that many companies use to mislead consumers. And many of us consumers are misled by these companies because of their tactics or labels that they do in their products. So, in my opinion, I think that they do lose consumer trust. It's not only a consequence, but something that is tactical in real life. When we see consumers not trying to involve in trying to demand transparency for these companies, I think that we're going to have a hard time in trying to trust these companies without earning our trust. And as I said, talking the talk and not walking the walk. So
Salutations, Miss. So we genuinely appreciate the profound efforts that you have put into this presentation in question. And it's quite indisputable that companies, especially when competing against other companies as well on a global scale, they often lean into a much more deceptive route way instead of actually admitting their things. While this may lead to washing away the burden they are carrying and also to raise profits. How is it possible to deal with this problem at its core? And should companies deal with much more stricter penalties when disrespecting eco-friendly claims? Thank you.
Okay, so first, I think that we need to educate consumers about sustainability. Sustainability doesn't come free. It needs to be educated in many schools and also us in Morocco. So when we educate consumers, we empower them to make informed choices, increasing demand for substantial products and fostering brand loyalty. So not only we educate people, but we build trust within companies, and we make more environmental choices, concrete choices that are built in real life, not only in our imagination. And not only do we foster loyalty, but we also gain some critical thinking as leaders. We need to critical think about how we're going to overspend our money, and our companies trying to mislead us into greenwashing, as we said. So the second question, if you can repeat it, if it's okay.
Yeah, sure thing. Well, so my second question being is that should companies face much more stricter penalties when facing eco-friendly claims?
So, as I said in my conclusion, that depends if we're really, really trying to demand transparency. And if we're trying to demand transparency, I think that we're going to give many restrictions to companies by using these labels, because they're not only lying to us, but they're making us waste more of our money with us thinking that we're doing something eco-friendly, we're doing something that is sustainable in our environment. But in fact, we're only trying to build our own grave. And the greenwashing is a strong word, and I think that many companies have been called out for, but we're still in the phase that even if a company does this, I'm not going to take accountability. No, we are the key. We can demand transparency. As I said, the difference between greenwashing and green marketing is transparent, and we're going to be more important, because if we're going to all the companies, consumers are just people that consume, not some people that are responsible, that are accountable, that think. So yeah, I hope that answered your question.
So
Also,
firstly, thank you.
Sorry, Ms. Shayla, but I just wanted to say that we only have 20 minutes for this session. So I want everybody, every speaker to be as concise as possible so everybody can get the chance to speak. And thank you.
Our planet is a vital aspect of humanity. If we lose our planet, if we lose sustainability, we cannot evolve because we're just going to try to find the basic needs of our life. And why is Apple standing? But well, they say that it's not a valid company because, as I said, I answered all the questions. Yay! Thank you.
Yeah. So
So thank you so much, Ms. Nada, for this amazing session that we had today. You answered
I hope
every
you enjoyed it. I did my best.
Yes. Thank you so much again for all the effort that you've put to actually make us understand. And also, this session has given the opportunity to everyone, almost everyone, to speak and ask their questions. And thank you to the online class for their insights and for their information. We have gathered tons and tons of information that could help us understand this subject better. And thank you so much to everyone, and good night.
Good night. Evidence or certifications, be wary.